The problem for this particular gentleman was not that he wasn't putting in effort and that he wasn't doing the right things. It was that he just wasn't doing them right. Okay? Be honest with yourself. Are you doing half reps? Or are you really doing full reps? Are you really getting in there deeply, going to a deep enough level where you can really make a dent? Last week, I was talking to you about why it's so difficult to build something meaningful. And for all you builders out there, all you people who are creating something, you probably have had this experience where it can become a bit of a slog and it seems like you're not making much progress. And while we discussed that last week and I gave you a little bit of encouragement to just keep going, that's really the main thing is just keep going. I also want to mention that I was at the gym yesterday and I saw someone doing something interesting and it inspired me to follow up the message that I gave you last week with this message that I'm going to deliver this week. And it is about what I call doing half reps. Okay, so we're just going to talk about what half reps are, and you're going to learn about whether or not part of the problem could be that you're doing half reps instead of full reps, and that's why you're not making progress on the big goal that you've set. So, this is Mark Johnson. I am the founder of Bounce Pep, bringing you ideas for a fit and flourishing future. Of course, I am the youngest son of Bill Johnson. I want you to be a subscriber. You want to be a subscriber, so go ahead and subscribe if you have not already done so. Thank you to all my current subscribers. I appreciate you. I really, really do. Now, let us jump into this. This is not going to be a long message. So, I was at the gym yesterday and I saw this guy there, and this is a guy that I see at the gym a lot. He's in there frequently, several times a week, and he's always doing something. He's always moving, and that's good. He's a skinny little guy, but he's always doing something. I mean, he's in the gym, like he's putting in effort. So I can't fault him for that. Yesterday, I saw him on the bench, and he was doing some bench presses, and I just noticed. Now he was on a Smith machine, so he was obviously had a little bit of help from the Smith machine itself, but he was doing some bench presses, and I couldn't help but notice that there was like a 4 inch gap between how low he brought the bar over his chest and the actual surface of his chest. In other words, he was leaving, if I turn this way, he was leaving about this much space every time he brought the bar down away from his chest. So he was never really actually getting, full reps. And, I went over to him. I said, well, you're trying to build your chest, right? And he says, yeah. Well, I said, okay, look, you need to go all the way down. And I just explained to him that he's doing half reps, and so he's not going to get the results that he's looking for. And in fact, I've seen this guy in the gym forever, and he looks the same. Okay, despite all of his efforts, he looks exactly the same as when he first started. And it's because of this thing that he's doing with these half reps of everything. And it got me thinking that the problem for this particular gentleman was not that he wasn't putting in effort and that he wasn't doing the right things. It was that he just wasn't doing them right. Okay. So he was doing the right things in the wrong ways. And that's why it's been so hard for him to make progress. And specifically, he's doing half reps. Okay. And that just got me thinking there are a lot of us out there, and I include myself because I've been guilty of this at times in my life where I'm doing half reps, and I'm not talking about the gym now. I'm talking about there's something that I'm working on that I'm trying to accomplish, but the truth of the matter is I'm only doing half reps, and I want you to ask yourself if part of your problem could be if you're struggling to make progress. Ask yourself if part of the problem could be that you've been doing half reps and you don't even realize it. Like this gentleman, like I say, I gave him all the credit in the world, or I give him all the credit in the world because he is in the gym all the time and he is making the efforts. Like that's very, very clear to me, very obvious. But he's doing half reps and he doesn't even know he's doing half reps. He doesn't even realize that he's not going deeply enough. Okay. And ask yourself, could this be part of your problem? You could be doing the right thing the wrong way. And that could be what's holding you back. And sometimes you don't know that you're doing it the wrong way. So you need to be aware of the possibility that this could be the issue. Okay. And start to ask yourself, okay, am I doing what I'm doing the right way to get the result that I want? Let me tell you something. So, you know that I am quite well versed in Japanese, and it's not only Japanese, any language, you can go to any country, and if you just hang around people long enough, you'll start to pick up language and you'll start to be able to talk and converse with people, right? You'll be able to converse just picking things up by ear, basically. And that's pretty much any language. If you go to South America, Spanish speaking countries, or Brazil or something like that, where they speak Portuguese, if you stick around there long enough, you'll be able to pick up a certain amount of the language simply by listening and then, having some courage and trying to converse with people back and forth. You will make progress like that. But one of the things about Japanese that I can tell you is with Japanese, you will never have a true understanding of the language if you don't understand how to read it. Because in Japanese, and this is the same as well in Chinese, but in Japanese, every character, we call them characters, every character has at least one meaning. So a lot of characters actually have multiple meanings, but every character has at least one meaning. So everything that you read, every individual little character has its own meaning. Okay. And what that means is that you can learn all you want to by ear, but until you learn to read in Japanese, you're never going to understand the language deeply enough. And it's the same thing as doing half reps. If you just come here, for instance, and you learn a language by ear, you're just doing half reps. Until you go deeper, okay, and you perfect your technique by learning how to read the language, actually learning what each of those characters means. You're just doing half reps, and you're going to have a limited. Your effectiveness is going to be limited in terms of how well you can speak the language and how fluent you can become. It's just a reality situation, okay? And so that's another example of how doing half reps versus doing full reps can produce an entirely different result. And I want you to look at your life and ask yourself, if there's some area where you haven't been making that progress, just be honest with yourself. Like I say, I know for sure in I have done things where I look back on it now, and it's very clear to me I was just doing half reps, and that's why I didn't get the result that I wanted to at that time. Okay, ask yourself. Okay, be honest with yourself. Are you doing half reps, or are you really doing full reps? Are you really getting in there deeply, going to a deep enough level where you can really make a dent? Where you can really understand what you're doing, do it well, you immerse yourself. This is for relationships as well. We live in this society now where you've got all this social media, and people just want microwavable relationships, and it's doing half reps with relationships. And you know real relationships take time. They take contact, like actual face to face, in person contact. They actually take that to build quality, true, deep, long lasting relationships. Like that world is not gone. I want to remind you that. So if you're doing half reps with your relationships and you find that your relationships are just mostly shallow or they don't last or anything, well, it's because, ask yourself, are you doing half reps, or are you really making effort to try and get in touch with people, physically, in person, live and in person, face to face, and really making actual contact with them? Makes a huge difference in relationships. Okay, makes a huge difference in your business life and the other aspects of your life. Ask yourself, have I been doing half reps? Okay, do full reps. And when I say do a full rep, I mean go deeper, go more deeply into what you're doing, understand it better, try more. Basically, just immerse yourself more, and you'll get a better result. Okay, so that's my message for you today. If you're doing those half reps, you want to be honest with yourself, start doing full reps. And I think that will help you to make more progress in your life. So I want you to take that with you. Talk to you next time.